everyone, I wanted to do a quick video and show you kind of where we are for our third grade social studies. Just kind of a sample of what we're doing. You may or may not know that we've been struggling for a while with finding something that was a good fit for both my daughter and for me. And we had been using, it was a Scott Forsman. We started with Pearson Social Studies grade 3. We switched, I think, to Scott Forsman grade 3. And what we ended up with, which just seemed to work best, was this series of books by, it's Teacher Created Materials, TCM, Teacher Created Materials, and it's their primary source readers. And I came across these, I'm trying to think, maybe on their website, they sell a pack to teachers, like a classroom set, and there are just little readers like this that are at a third grade level, and they cover history, government, I think there's some geography, I'm trying to think, economics. So there's 14, I believe, in this series, and then there's 2 that are like biographies. We did not get the biography ones. We picked these up on Amazon, some used, some new, anywhere from like $5 up to about $10, just depending. And when you look at Teacher Created Materials website, it's hard to see a whole list of the titles that are included, but I emailed them and they sent me a list of the titles that were included. They didn't sell just a set that would have just 1 copy of each title, which is what I wanted. They had like a set that had 10 copies of each title, and I do think there was a teacher guide with that. But anyway, I just went and found the titles on Amazon and bought them there, and these have been a really good fit for us. Like I said, there's 14 plus 2 biographies. Let's see, I don't have any sitting right here with me right now, but this is one we've already done. I want to say we've done about a third of them. Let me think. 14. Maybe a little more than a third of them, but this is one that we finished, so I just thought I'd show you kind of how we use it. I like this because there's not a ton of like classroom discussion questions and written activities like you get in some of the textbooks. But we do these books maybe over a week's time if we do it every day, 2 weeks time if we don't do it every day. And my daughter and I just read through these together. So for this one, we read, some of it we just read. We didn't have any other activities. So like this one, we read the Introduction to the American Mosaic. And this was kind of a nice little review for us because we had just finished Native Americans. So we read through this a little bit. And then we read, another day we read this section on the American Dream and Ellis Island. And so on the day we read that, I pulled this book called The Memory Coat, which is about a family coming to Ellis Island. And then I had a little just activity that I had gotten off of Teachers Pay Teachers that we did, some vocabulary from the book, and then she did this little activity where if she could only bring 4 things with her, what things would she bring? So we did that along with this section. So the thing I like kind of about using these books is I can just add fun little extras to it. That's kind of how I like to do it. Have something kind of give me the basic information, and then I can add the fun stuff in. So then we get into American Society. This was kind of a fun little section. We read about fashion, food, and music. I think that was all, I'm trying to remember. So for fashion, it talked about kind of cowboy hats and boots and denim and things like that. And so let's see if I have it here. So to go along with that, she made this little purse out of the pocket from my husband's pair of Azul jeans. And then I taught her how to sew buttons, so she sewed some buttons on. This was like, with the exception of the buttons, it was a no-sew project, but it was just kind of something fun that related, just an activity that related to what we read. In the food section, this was fun. We got 3 different barbecue sauces from the grocery store. We had like a Memphis style, I can't remember the other 2. Anyway, we got 3 different ones and we kind of tasted compared them, tasted the difference, and we made a batch of chocolate chip cookies. It was just something fun to go with what we read. A lot of this stuff I really see as just like an introduction of a topic to her, kind of planting the seed for as we get further down the road. For music was fun. We just looked up on YouTube and listened to some B.B. King, some Elvis Presley, and she really enjoyed that. And then we had a little section about folklore. So I had gotten a book about Paul Bunyan from the okay. I got a book about Paul Bunyan from the library. We read that, and then this was a little word search I got, probably from Teachers Pay Teachers. So one day, this is what we did. We read this section, and we did those things along with it. I think we read this sports section on the same day too, actually. I didn't have an activity to go with this. We just read it. And then we had this section on celebrations, and this was something I had pulled way back when I was planning social studies from the other books. It went along with it just fine. So she did this little printable, just a little booklet about celebrations. All right. Oh, I was going to say this was nice because we had done a previous book on, let's see, Veterans Day. So this was like a little reminder of what we had already learned about Veterans Day. Same with Thanksgiving. And then we talked about civil rights, a brief touch on George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Martin Luther King, all of which she's heard before. So again, this gave us a little bit more information. We're going to be doing a bigger unit on the American Revolution. So this was just a nice little teaser about that and the colonies. And then they give you a project suggestion in the back of making your own mosaic. So she did that, and I added in a book about our flag. And then there's usually, let's see, in the very back, there's usually another little activity or project you can do if you want. We chose not to do this particular one. There was one about Veterans Day that we did. We did do whatever the extra thing was. I can't remember, but this has just been a perfect fit for us. I think we did Veterans Day, we did this one, we did Cultures Around the World, and I want to say two others, but I can't think of what they are off the top of my head. So I also found, after I purchased all these, that our library system, or consortium, actually carries some of these. So this is something I'm going to be looking into for my next year for first grade for my son, and I don't think they do these for fourth grade, though. I'll have to check, but they were just what we were looking for. I like kind of doing little mini kind of unit type studies where I just pull in a few fun things. And so these have been perfect for us. So if you're looking for something that's maybe a little more relaxed, or that you have a little more freedom to add in some of your own things without making it too crazy overwhelming, this series has been really good for us. So I wanted to share it. If you would like me to do another video showing all the books in the series and a little bit more of how, what we did with some of the other ones, let me know down below, and I will be happy to share that with you at some point in the future. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know.